Back to school is now just days away, and that back to school rush can be stressful. But with a little planning ahead, you can get ahead of the game. Here with what you need to know, including the top 3 tips to keep you stress-free, is Fox 29 lifestyle expert Shari. Just to start, probably just breathe. It's all going to get done.
Right. We've done this before.
But a lot of parents right now are saying, oh, really? It's not that easy, because it's very expensive when you've got one kid or 3 kids. It just piles on with the money. The money can be the initial stressor, can't it?
Yeah. So the big thing is that we've got tax-free holiday coming up. Not the biggest way to save. You're only saving the sales tax. But it's a no-brainer, because all you need to do is show up and buy on those particular days. And the retailers oftentimes time their sales to the tax-free days because they know that's when folks want the extra savings. So now you've got a couple extra days. The tax-free days are the 4th until the 6th this month. Now's the time to be comparative shopping, see who's going to be having sales, clipping the coupons, whatever you can do to add on top of that tax-free savings, and also checking out the Department of Revenue website, because that's where you'll see the rules. The rules change every year in terms of what's included, what's excluded, and the dollar caps. So, for example, in Florida, clothing is up to $60 per item. Computers are up to $750 per item. So that's where you can go, make a copy of that list, get your coupons together, and get ready to buy on those days. All told, the Department of Revenue says that Florida families will save over $33 million this year.
Yeah.
So you might as well get a part of that, right?
Well, and it's significant because that's an overall very large sum, but individually with families, it adds up to a couple of $100 sometimes.
Just a computer, yeah, you can save over $50. Yeah.
All right, so you've got all that. Kids are going through all their new things in their rooms and everything, but then they start asking about teachers and friends, and what do you do after that to get kids ready to go into that next class year?
Right, so the exact stressors that your child is going to go through, of course, depends on your kid, and also the age has a big impact on that. But studies show that the top 3 are my teachers. Will I like my teacher? But also, will my teacher like me? The school itself, how am I going to find my classrooms and my locker? And also students, am I going to have friends? Will my friends still like me? That kind of thing. And the easiest way to deal with those is to remove the uncertainty and also with some exposure. So when it comes to teachers, you can go online and find photographs, learn a little more about the teachers. You can visit the school and set up some play dates for your kids.
That's a really good idea. All right, now you've done all that, but it's now down to a day or 2 before school. Kids are real anxious. How do you get them kind of thinking routine?
Avoid the big mistakes. So a lot of parents, I don't know about your parents, my mom the night before used to always talk about first impressions, things like that. Have those conversations a couple of days beforehand, and also get into the routine. So start waking up early a few days ahead of time, turn the TV off early a few days ahead of time, get the meal times down, so it's not like a cold splash of water the first morning of school.
Come on, kids, we're doing something new all of a sudden.
Right?
All right, thanks.
Right? Sure.
Good tips, good advice to keep all of us just a little stress-free.
Yeah, why
and then
not?
we breathe. Thanks for joining us. Felicia?
I cannot believe we are already starting to talk about the beginning of